Many Beatles fans are convinced that George Harrison planted a sly jab at Paul McCartney inside one of his most unlikely songs, using it as a subtle weapon during one of the group's stormiest chapters. By 1968, Harrison had not yet stormed out of the Beatles after his infamous clash with McCartney during the recording of Two of Us, but the frustration was already boiling. He felt marginalized, treated like a supporting player rather than an equal partner, and his resentment toward McCartney's growing dominance was impossible to ignore. Harrison had always been a songwriter who funneled his grievances into music. He had once turned personal annoyance into Don't Bother Me, and later launched a pointed attack on the government through Taxman. With that track record, it would hardly have been surprising if he had chosen to target one of his bandmates through another cleverly disguised song. On the surface, one of Harrison's White Album contributions, Savoy Truffle, seemed to be nothing more than a playful ode to his friend Eric Clapton's addiction to chocolate. Yet many Beatles devotees believe there was more to it than sweet references, a hidden sting aimed squarely at McCartney. The tension only worsened after the death of their manager, Brian Epstein. Without Epstein's steady hand, McCartney began tightening his grip over the band. Harrison would later describe Paul at the time as being too consumed with his own vision, acting as if everything around him was designed only to accompany his ideas. He recalled how McCartney seemed blind to the way he trampled on other people's pride and feelings. Every side of the White Album carries one Harrison track. Side 1 opens with The Aching, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Side 2 delivers The Biting Piggies. Side 3 offers the delicate Long, 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 and Side 4 presents Savoy Truffle, a candy-coated track that hides something sharper beneath its sugary exterior. By then, Harrison's bond with Clapton was growing stronger. He even invited Clapton to deliver the blistering solo on While My Guitar Gently Weeps. In his memoir, I, Me, Mine, Harrison recalled how Savoy Truffle was born after spending time with Clapton in the mid-1960s. He described Clapton as constantly plagued by toothaches and cavities, yet unable to resist sweets. Harrison remembered how Clapton would devour an entire box of chocolates once he saw it, and explained that one night at his house, a box of Good News chocolates on the table inspired him to write a song based on the names printed inside the lid. The early verses of Savoy Truffle revel in sugary imagery, but the second bridge takes an unexpected turn. The lyrics warn that indulgence eventually turns sour, then drop a surprising reference to McCartney's Obladi, Oblada, from the album's first side. Harrison never openly criticized Obladi, Oblada, but many observers suspect he disliked it. Lennon was far less subtle. Decades later, engineer Jeff Emmerich recalled how Lennon dismissed the song as lightweight and old-fashioned. Media outlets at the time hinted that Harrison also shared little enthusiasm for the track, even if he chose to remain silent in public. For die-hard Beatles fans, that lyrical reference has always seemed deliberate. By weaving McCartney's song into Savoy Truffle, Harrison may have been mocking his bandmate under the guise of playful sweetness. What sounded like a light-hearted tune about candy suddenly revealed a razor edge, a sugar-coated critique aimed at McCartney during one of the darkest and most fractured periods in Beatles history.